Everyone thinks a 4K dash cam guarantees you perfect evidence, but here's the thing: pixels don't save you if the camera melts in summer or smears plates at night. The surprising truth I found testing the Vantrue S1 for 3 weeks is that reliability, sensor tuning, and stealth matter more than headline specs. I ran this in single 4K at 24 FPS, dual 1080p, through day, night, a baking parking lot, and a dim garage. And what I discovered flips the usual dash cam advice on its head. If you clicked expecting a simple yes or no on whether it's worth it in 2026, stick around because the best setting on the S1 is not the one you think. Before we dive into what I discovered, quick heads up. If you're already leaning yes and want the best current deal, I've left a link below. But hang on, because how to set this up for the best footage might save you more than the camera's price. I started this hunt after a familiar pain, a mystery door ding in a grocery lot, and a months-long back and forth with insurance. My old bargain dash cam overheated last summer, and its night video looked like a watercolor painting. I needed something discreet, front and rear, that could survive a black interior in August and still read plates at night. I was skeptical of the S1's marketing: single 4K at 24 FPS, dual 1080p at 30 FPS, HDR night vision, supercapacitor, GPS with live speed, and 24/7 parking modes with a hardwire kit. On paper it checks boxes, but I've been burned by pretty spec sheets before. The emotional stake: I just want clean, usable evidence, not another excuse for an adjuster to shrug. First test: daytime clarity at speed. In single front 4K/24 FPS, I ran a 22-mile loop of city and highway. At 35-45 mph, signs and plates stayed crisp. At 70 mph, I could freeze frames and still catch most plates within a car length or two. Detail is excellent, but panning and fast traffic have that 24 FPS stutter. Switch to 1080p 60 and motion gets buttery. You trade a bit of fine detail, but moving plates were easier to read thanks to less motion blur. I kept thinking. 4K for still detail, 60 FPS for movement. But then came night. I drove a dim neighborhood, a dark alley, and a wet highway. The S1's f1.47 aperture, upgraded Starvis sensor, and HDR do real work here. Headlight flare is controlled, shadow detail is preserved better than I expected, and stoplight plates are legible more often than not. At 30 mph in low light, you still lose some plates, that's normal, but compared to other cams I've tested in this price range, the S1 doesn't crush blacks. Noise is present, not distracting. 4K night footage looks cleaner when you're stopped or at low speed. 1080p 60 helps when everything's moving fast. But then I added the rear camera and dropped to dual 1080p 30. The front stays sharp enough, the rear at 160 degrees is wide and surprisingly detailed given the resolution. I caught a tailgater's plate from about 15 feet, rain on the window and all. The trade-off is obvious. Dual mode sacrifices the razor detail of single 4K. If you want maximum clarity up front, run single 4K. If you want full coverage, dual FHD is still solid. Here's where it gets interesting. Visibility from the discrete mount behind the mirror is excellent, and the camera truly disappears from view, which reduces theft risk and distraction. Next, parking mode. With the hardwire kit, motion detection woke both cams reliably when someone passed within about 8-10 feet. The low bitrate mode recorded 720p plus 720p at 15 FPS continuously without filling the card overnight. I left the car for 14 hours. The camera captured a bump on the bumper during a trash pickup and flagged it as an event thanks to the G sensor. You can dial down sensitivity if passing branches become false triggers. Without the hardwire kit, you're limited, so plan on adding it. Heat stress test. I left the car under direct sun for 4 hours. The interior thermometer read 132 degrees F. The S1 supercapacitor design, rated from -4 degrees F to 158 degrees F, did what lithium battery cams often can't. It kept recording. No swelling, no thermal shutdown, no corrupted files. Early morning at 8 degrees F, it started and recorded immediately. This matters. Pretty footage doesn't help if the cam fails on the hottest day. Finally, GPS. The built-in module stamped speed and coordinates, and the live speed on screen was within 1-2 mph of my car's display. Pull the files into the free Windows Mac GPS player, and you get a route overlay with zoom to read plates. It's nerdy, but it's also exactly what you need for incident documentation. Now for the part nobody tells you, the S1's best trick isn't the 4K headline. It's the combination of durability, stealth, and usable footage. After 3 weeks, the most surprising discovery was that I consistently got the clearest evidence by mixing modes. 1080p 60 during the day when traffic is fast, dual 1080p 30 for longer trips when I want rear coverage, and 4K/24 FPS at night if I'm mostly city driving with frequent stops. That flexibility beats a lot of pricier cams that lock you into one flashy mode. Is it perfect? No, there's no Wi-Fi or app, so you'll pull the microSD or use the GPS player on a computer. 4K at 24 FPS can look a touch choppy in fast motion. A CPL filter would help windshield glare on bright days, but it's not included. And like many dash cams, it's picky about cards. Use a high-endurance microSD up to 256 GB. The Amazon rating around 4.1 reflects that for some folks, the lack of an app or a non-endurance card causing errors is a pain. For me, the supercapacitor reliability and footage quality outweigh those misses. Now that you know how to dial in the S1 for real-world results, grab it while it's in stock at a good price. I'll link the camera, the hardwire kit, and a high-endurance microSD below so you have the exact setup I tested. Don't wait and end up overpaying later. Bottom line. The Vantrue S1 is worth it if you value reliability and evidence over flashy extras. Commuters, rideshare drivers, and anyone in hot or cold climates will appreciate the supercapacitor, discrete mount, HDR night tuning, and built-in GPS. If you need Wi-Fi, voice control, or 4K at 60 FPS, look elsewhere. For everyone else, this is a rock-solid dash cam that quietly does the one job that matters. Capturing clean, dependable footage when you need it most. The fanciest feature isn't 4K, it's trust that your video will be there.